gigs.
That's not bad.
I had like all the footage I had for the film was like 2 terabytes. Nature footage, all the nature footage I had alone was a terabyte.
Which is 100 gigabytes.
1,000.
That's 1,000 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And you had 2 terabytes.
Yeah, and then like I think I had another terabyte for like all the footage of, because we did a lot of takes. It's like a mile of film.
Whole mile of digital film. I wasn't ready for you to immediately hit the button.
I mean, we can cut some of this. It doesn't matter.
No, it's fine. This is authentic. I can't stop smiling because I was so excited to come back and record.
Were you?
And redeem myself. Maybe not say the N-word immediately at the top of the hour. Gonna try and, I'm gonna artfully not say it at all, which really shouldn't really be that hard because I don't know. I've been putting myself like literally online lately, and I've like needed to make sure make sure everybody knows I'll fucking say it, guys. I don't give a shit. Just making sure,
Well, that's badass, dude.
I guess so. Like I've got like some right to do it. You should see what my dad looks like, and that's enough. Doesn't matter that he's that light skinned. Anyways, how are you, Grant?
I'm fine.
You fine?
Yeah,
Right.
I like it's not. It's later than last time.
It is later than last time. I took a nap. I feel last time I showed up very tired. I was very tired. I must not have slept very much, maybe 5 hours, and I
You don't have. It's not
didn't
an
take a
apology.
nap.
It's not an apology tour. That should be episode 2 right there. Apology tour.
It's not. I guess it does just sound like I'm apologizing for my behavior because I can't. That's what I was saying. Like it's unlistenable. I can't really listen to the first episode already. I even like told you, I'm like, you don't need to put it out. You're like, I'm putting it out. Like almost immediately. We didn't sit on. You're like, let's get this shit. Time to invade the space, the airways.
Well, you just gotta enter people's minds.
And I like that, dude.
Well, what's better than some of the other shit that's out here? You to watch Fox News, ESPN.
There's a lot of options, dude.
Well, there's YouTube.
There's a lot of unfortunate podcasts on YouTube that like get uploaded for a couple months, and they've got like really good names. All the good names are taken, but the podcasts for them are gone. Like Locker Room Talk. There's like 3 podcasts named that, and they all flunked out.
It sounds like a bunch of like
You know what it was?
basketball players.
You know what it was? It was like 4 like Mexican/Asian, hard to like in between like guys, just like fraternity guys. They like would talk about their fraternity.
Locker room talk.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of great, but their audio system was all
they-
fucked up, and the
they
guy
talk
they
about,
couldn't figure it out.
Grabbing girls by the pussy.
They talk about like grabbing girls by the pussy, like lifting in the gym and like screaming horrendously like while they lift. Talk about like Hefnol and normal stuff.
But their audio was fucked.
Audio system was fucked. I mean, none of them were like obviously gifted in any like specific way, other than like maybe being good at like sexually assaulting women.
What do you expect from retards?
I mean, honestly, no. What do you expect from a bunch of fucking minorities doing a podcast? Bunch of half white, half like some breed people. I can't. I don't know. I was like trying to just.
They should have called it like lawn care.
You're a goddamn genius. You're a goddamn genius. They got to get you. You should just.
These people are idiots,
You
man.
You could be producing multiple podcasts.
I want to be. I'm like Pharrell. This shit. Come on.
Traveling around with that thing. This
Well,
is all self-contained. This isn't even like plugged into a.
No, it is.
It's
right here.
Oh, it is plugged into
you wanna know
a
what's cool?
laptop. I didn't think it was plugged into a laptop. It's all.
Oh yeah, it's all
there.
just recording right into there.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's cool is I also have. Well, I have a portable like power station, so I could just plug that into a 12. I could just plug that in and take it into a car.
I want to do a podcast in the car so bad at some point.
But I also have like a little task cam. It's just this mini thing, and you can plug 2 XLRs into that, so that would work too. It's just like a little handheld.
Okay.
So,
dude, no, you're. Dude.
Yeah, come on, bro. I'm a pro. I got 2 films.
Dude,
They're like I have 2 films that are 4 hours long in total.
You know how lucky I am to have you come into my life.
Kind of gay. That was.
It's really gay to say, but
Well, I appreciate it, man. I like to help people.
yeah,
But that's what this is for. We're here to help.
we're doing something.
We're a healthy living podcast. That's what we would be under, I guess, in the App Store, right?
Truly.
What would you consider us?
Truly, I don't want you to kill yourself.
Healthy living,
This
right?
is a not kill yourself podcast. This is
Self-help?
Stay alive. This is like it's just something about like when your favorite podcast drops every week and it's like
Get
consistent.
excited.
You it's like you wake up for work that morning and you see that there's an upload from us and you're like, wow, now I don't have to shoot up my workplace. Now I don't have to unleash my feelings in an unhealthy way at old women.
Just listen to us.
Just listen to us say slurs and say all the things that you could never actually say, not even in the privacy of your own home because you've lost everything.
The switch up of this episode's crazy. You go from apologizing, now you're saying, we say it all. That is a sick microphone, dude. That's what we should get. We just get them so they just hang and we can just talk into them.
Very good. Yeah, that would be very nice.
I do enjoy that mic. That's what's funny. I saw that one, the Audio Technica. And
It's no bullshit. I mean, I paid $200 for this harness kit.
And you had the whole arm and like goes onto the. You were gonna stream.
Yeah, it was a piece. I mean, I was. Streaming is something different, dude. I don't know. I just live too sporadically, and not by like any proper schedule. So it's like
I don't really have a schedule either. I just I just made that film, but like to me, it's just like I have to get this done. I have to like that's all
Yeah.
that's playing in my head.
there are adults that have like a proper bedtime. Like I gotta get to sleep by this time, so I get this amount of sleep, so I don't stab my wife.
My friend I was telling you about.
Yeah, don't even. You shouldn't even said it because I don't need to go in. I'm not gonna go in on him. It's not happening.
You saw.
I saw what he looked like.
All right.
I saw his family dynamic. It looks like the Mr. Beast situation. It looks like he would leave his family and then turn himself into Sailor Moon. That's what it looks
Dude,
like.
Sailor Moon was like my childhood, though.
He would turn himself into Sailor Moon and then he would try to get you to fuck him.
Whoa,
He would trick you.
it's too real.
He would trick you. I'm sorry. You're trying to rein me in. I got it real close to
Yeah,
my mouth
I
here.
hold it just a little further back.
A little
You can
further
sit a little differently if you might want to.
I'm gonna sit all sorts of ways. I'm gonna move. I'm a mobile creature.
But I'm trying to think of quality. You don't want to come off like those fucking lawnmower dudes.
You're right. I'll back up a little.
Those
I
fucking
should here. I
those
should
goony-
take my sock off and put it
Keep
over.
the sock on.
like
No,
a
keep the
boom.
sock on.
Like a boom.
A boom.
Or not a
It's
boom.
a pop filter.
Pop filter. Shut up, fucking college boy. You think you know shit?
You sound like
You
my
know
dad.
shit?
He'll say that shit. Fucking
Call you
college.
college
boy.
boy?
I thought you went to college. Didn't you go to college? I always say shit like that. It's like I'm not even thinking. I don't care what. Like I'm not even thinking right now. All right. He's like, I thought you went to college. He'll say that dude. He's been saying that forever.
It'll be like some dumb shit. It's like you didn't turn your shirt inside out before you did your laundry. Now the logo's gonna get all fucked up.
Just like little shit. I can't even explain. Like just like almost like little rudimentary like hand. I don't know. This little shit.
It's just anytime your dad feels small.
kind of.
Because your dad is still a man, an individual like yourself, trying to like cling on to something that's been fading away for years. That you're starting to feel the beginnings of in our age, where you see like the end of the road. I don't know.
I don't see the end of the road.
I don't. Well, I think we just get reset and put into a new body. Like I have a new age way of thinking things. We're living in like Japan in 2077. We're actually just like in a game.
Have you seen that thing in the Saudis are making? It's called The Line.
What are the Saudis doing?
It's like they're building this thing. It's called The Line.
It's not that clear like
That
city.
giant silver line that's like in the middle of the
Made of
desert.
glass?
Yeah.
But it's like a city.
It's all eco and like self-sustaining.
They're not doing that shit there.
Yeah, it's already built. They've been building it for like 2 years.
We're gonna blow it up.
Let's go live there.
It's probably gonna get blown up. That's a
It's
great
too
target.
big. It's like cyberpunk. That's what it reminds me of.
How are they protecting it from a?
Sandstorm.
How do
Someone would just. Why not? Like why not?
you just saying that? I immediately like we should
Thought of
bomb
bombing it.
We should we should just bomb it.
So
Why is that what comes to my mind? Bomb it.
you have a you should have joined. And I don't say you should have joined the army, but you have a combative spirit.
I think that's just because I have a mic in front of my mouth too.
You can
and
say whatever you want.
I've got the power.
Yeah, but you're wielding your words in a way.
In a very, You know, it's that goddamn book. It says fucking Heidegger, dude. It's fucking with my mind.
Heidegger?
It's Heidegger, dude. It's the card-carrying Nazi philosopher.
Tell me about Heidegger. I don't know much about him.
I
Just
mean,
give me like a little gestalt, like 30 seconds.
he's like the granddaddy of like this. I want to say the proper year would be 20th century philosophers. So he would have interpreted the century beforehand. And the book that I'm reading right now is just kind of a general critique. Make sure you turn The Whale on. We're supposed to be watching The
I'm
Whale.
doing it right now. I know.
I don't want to start like bloviating because this is the first book I've written by him, but all the people that I listen to like in the philosophy sphere and like other like writers from like the 70s and like the 60s or whatever, they referred as Heidegger. He's the dude. He
What about Hegel?
Hegel?
Yeah, Hegel.
Hegel and him, I believe they're contemporaries. Hegel's all about like phenomenology of the spirit, and
I would probably be a Hegel guy.
I think Hegel has to do with the Greeks. I think
Okay.
Hegel came out of Greek thinking, I believe. If I had to put money on it, I believe that's kind of like the pathway. I think the word's epistemology, kind of like the framework, the pathway of thinking. That's probably not the right word, but just putting a word there. Putting a word there.
Brenden Fraser, man. It was my childhood. George of the Jungle, Mummy.
Very good. I am, big George of the Jungle guy. Not Mummy. I didn't see Mummy too much.
Really?
I don't think I owned any of those films, so I wasn't really privy to.
It was on
watching
TV.
them.
I didn't own it either. I just remember like it being on TV.
Disney Channel?
TNT.
George of the Jungle on
No,
Disney
the
Channel?
Mummy.
Mummy on
I had the
TNT.
George of the Jungle on VHS.
Right.
Where it's
I
like
don't think I owned that one.
the Nike Airs when he's like running and Jane.
I remember it had I don't know the actress's name, but she was
Jane was the character, but yeah. Oh no, she's married to Judd Apatow.
Judd
Yeah.
Apatow, yeah.
Judd.
Leslie Mann?
Yeah, there you go.
Leslie
She's
Mann.
great.
She is very hot.
She is.
I would love to
And she's got great
fuck
personality.
her in front of Judd. Yes.
She can make me laugh all day.
She does seem like a very just charming woman.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Just someone that gets me. That can make me laugh. A woman that can make me laugh good with like intentionally, not by like being a retard.
Yeah, like they
Not
actually
being
got like a
fucking
brain.
woman, yeah.
Like some wit.
Something, yeah, exactly. Wit. What a good word. Thanks, Freud. Thank you.
Coppola. I like this wine.
Yeah, we just started. We got to go. What are we even going to talk about?
Well, we can talk about my English teachers that wanted to. Never mind.
They wanted to.
Well, have you seen this movie?
I've seen this a few
This
times.
is college creative writing right here. You have like
A Zoom call.
gender people, like gender neutral people. You have like some bis, some non-binary.
That Asian guy at the top there, he definitely dresses like a girl. That's why he's got long hair.
There's this one kid in my poetry class.
Oh, he
and
has a mustache.
He'd
I
write
don't
like
know how that works.
Disney poems, like Disney themed poems.
How old was this man? 20-year-old? Like a 21-year-old?
22, 23
In a creative writing class?
in college. Yes,
What do you look like? Was he a white guy? Fat, kind of fat?
a fat Mr. Beast. I think he was in marching band.
Dude, we're not going to, we should
I'm
stay
being
on
dead
this.
honest.
Yeah. He was in marching band.
Possibly,
Marching band.
possibly not.
Kind of like a Josh Gad type figure. Was he Josh Gaddy?
It's just like a big goofy kid who writes about Disney, and
Alright.
they're bad.
Yeah. Pretty like overtly like gay, feminine, or just like really quiet and like should be into anime
middle.
instead. Should just be really into
Definitely
anime,
probably
not
gay
Disney.
though.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if this is why you gotta turn the lights down a little, dude.
Yeah.
I remember watching this in the first. It was pretty great.
Yeah, that's a great scene. I've seen that scene. It's very good.
I don't even. Yeah, he almost has like a heart attack and jerking
I
off.
think he's having a heart. I don't think it's
He
almost.
is.
I think
He's, like-
he's in the
And then he's got,
thralls.
like chicken right there. Yeah.
What a sad scene. I mean, this is me every time I finish. And then I reach for something sentimental. Yeah, kill the lights. I'm fine. Done being like overstimulated. Yeah,
That's
I
good.
was being retarded. I was like, how am I?
I want it bright
How-
so I can see and talk because it's the dark kind of scares me. I want to see who I'm talking to. I have to make an apology to start this podcast, please.
Make sure that it's clear. I sounded kind of crazy at times, and I really wasn't comfortable with the person that I put out there.
I'm an edgy person, okay?
Grant, like, he did ask if it was okay if I just if you put everything out, and I said, yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. I just want everybody to know that I love
Whoa.
Just kidding, guys. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to do it. I did it.
Who's this guy? Oh, yeah. It was like his student, I think.
He's a Mormon.
This is what COVID does to people, man.
Yeah, it makes them fat and gay and Mormon.
Fat, gay, and then you find a new religion. Yeah. That's what COVID did to a lot of people. A lot of people took,
yeah, dude, I got
all right, this is actually, I was going to say something really interesting here.
Yeah.
Serious slightly too. Yeah. When did this deep, I don't even want to do this because it's a stupid, trendy topic, but it's a real kind of question. It's kind of hack. When did this deep cult, like serious cult-like obsession start with Taylor Swift? Was it post-COVID? Did she replace Jesus Christ for many people? That's what my question is.
Taylor Swift's...
Has she replaced Jesus Christ as an archetype figure for many people?
I think there's lots of Jesus Christ figures.
That was stupid.
Everybody has their own Jesus Christ.
What's this new obsession? Is there just no other pop star to compete with her?
With Taylor?
Yeah, at this global level that she's at.
Like
her music's not that good. It's not.
Look at her though. She's just like
too normal for everyone to relate with. Kind of normie.
Well, the fact that she is normal, she's just a very pretty white woman. She's just a Nazi archetype. She's the Aryan archetype. And we're a Nazi country.
Hitler would be proud.
We're a secretly not. I mean, if you don't realize, like that, we're like a secret Nazi country or whatever. Like,
is that what Kanye was trying to tell us?
That's essentially what. That's why Kanye is like all up in arms, and that's why. I don't want to get shot.
Who's gonna shoot you?
Nobody's gonna shoot me.
Who the fuck's even listening to this?
Nobody's even listening to this.
We got, like Russian bots and like our own views on the View.
I just feel like I'm immediately heading towards a cliff that I don't actually have anything to talk about with it apart from
Okay.
You just like.
I mean, that was interesting. We were living in a Nazi country.
Well, like normal history will show like the people that propped up Nazi Germany after World War I were like steel magnates, like the Rockefellers.
Right.
And
so you're saying the foundation.
The railroads were laid down by the Harriman brothers. I mean, they were in charge of the railroads and all this stuff. And it's like we set up the Nazis to protect us from the Russians, essentially. And
well, I know I've heard like they hired a lot of Nazi scientists after and that kind of created NASA and yada yada yada.
Exactly.
And created a lot of parts of the government. So there's a lot of Nazi influence.
I think that they got transplanted pretty successfully because it's more so about. I mean, at the end of the day, the United States needs to stay ahead in a technological sense, and that's all that they really cared about when they were bringing these
competition
Nazi scientists over. Because, I mean, it was all just to fuel DARPA and we have to stay ahead in technology because Russia and China also intook Nazis the same way we did. Because
it's competition. Because
the aliens gave Nazis like this technology, and the Nazis were working alongside like lizards and like shit. It's. I mean, it's just retarded. Like I sound insane, but it's just like
right.
It's just taken as matter of fact. The Nazis were.
Question: why did the aliens love the Nazis so much?
Probably because of.
The open arms, they were welcoming it, or were they selected?
They somehow became the focal point of the whole world. Now, I don't know if that's the because you like to think maybe that's the orchestrating of the aliens, but also the money just happened to get dumped into them by the people that had the money. I mean, the Rothschilds, and I mean, I'm kind of losing myself there. What did you just?
Why were the Nazis selected by the aliens if that's the case?
Maybe because they were just in a vulnerable spot and were able to be manipulated.
They had a charismatic leader,
and they were just undergoing a lot of like metamorphosis. The word's probably metamorphosis. Yeah.
Do you think Adolf was channeling?
Yeah, Adolf was definitely like
receiving some things.
He became like an embodiment.
Antenna.
yeah, he became like the spirit of the German people. He was channeling everything. He was no longer himself. He represented Germany as a whole. And,
But
the
then,
spirit that he was embodying was, man, I saw a video on this recently, but can't say exactly, but he was embodying some sort of not necessarily a good figure, probably a darker
a
figure.
dark entity off world was channeling through him,
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah. And he allowed himself to be fully
Take it in.
taken in by it, and then we see the result.
Yeah.
We see the result to allowing yourself to be fully given over to the unconscious. That's being fully given over to the unconscious.
You got to read my comic, man.
I gotta read a lot of your works.
I think you'll be really surprised by the tone and almost I want to say naivety, but the I don't know. My book, it's Project 1, then Pluto is Project 2, and then La Petite Mort was Project 3, and there really is a trilogy that I realized like there is the tone from Project 1 to Project 3 is quite different.
Yeah.
But also that's me maturing, I think, as a person too. So
Exactly.
but they're still all I wouldn't say like a young person wrote the first project. It's just like it's not amateur. It doesn't feel, I don't mean it that way. I didn't mature as like a craftsman, as a writer, but like the thoughts per se, or maybe the
Amateur or immature, maybe.
no,
Just amateur.
maybe slightly immature, but it's still like it's a wise voice speaking. Like it's
Unrealized, maybe. Because I mean,
just wide-eyed going into the world, but not like a wide-eyed like.
Sure. Well, you just said his name. We should avoid names.
It'll be beeped out.
It'll be bleeped out. You should bleep out my really hard, unexpected R.
I'll make it funny. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a wide-eyed kid that thought he could like go to New York and make, I don't know, anything. And then really once I realized I got there right away, I was like, oh, this is not gonna. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna make something. So I started writing a book, and then I got a job at a film, and then I did do some cool stuff. Like I said, I made a little indie short where I crawled across the Manhattan Bridge as a zombie or an infected person.
You know, in like during COVID,
Pre-COVID.
pre-COVID,
We predicted it.
Wow. That's amazing.
And then I was crawling around Chinatown. I was crawling around Chinatown in the streets at like 6:30 a.m. And I was like a sick person. My friend was recording me. Chase, his name was, really cool guy. We can leave his name in.
Okay.
And then when we were walking back, we were smoking a joint. Well, we were walking back, and then we saw like literally like these like CIA, FBI dudes, like black trucks, like 4 of them coming across the bridge, like. Whoo, whoo,
Like fucking Akira.
and then they each went into their own, like they got into set, like they were about to box, like they were about to go shut someone down, and we were like, for a second we were sketched out because we were like, is that for like some terrorist attack on the bridge? Like we were like crawling, like it was kind of like there's people running across the bridge, and I'm like fake vomiting, like hello, I'm like, it's like, but then we walked across and we smoked a joint coming back, which was pretty cool. And I remember.
Public joint, nice.
I remember the night before I stayed up all night for this, and I even drank a little bit. So I ate pizza, so I just like feel like complete shit. Yeah, and then
That's some Daniel Day-Lewis level.
Man. And then I was literally vomiting, and then I would and then we had fake vomit too. We had like this little pump, and he had like a little rope or like a little tube come up right here, and I would be like, and but then I would really start gagging too, and then really vomit. It was good. There's some really good footage, but it was so cool, just like. I don't know. That's what I mean. It's like being here, growing up here, and then like being like 10 a.m. just sitting at the Manhattan Bridge looking at the World Trade Center. Like
that's a different world.
It was pretty cool, man. And I'm just in like a fucking nurse outfit with fake blood all over me and fake vomit, and like it was a cool time. But that was 2019. It was a different time. But yeah, we because he wanted to make it like almost like 28 days later, like walking across the bridge type. And like he's bringing the infection into the city because he was talking about it. I remember him talking about the idea he got. He was like, think about it on the subway. Everything you touch, how many germs here are. There's just so many fucking germs here. And I was like, yeah, dude, yeah. And he's like, just think. And then he kind of just thought about that and like bringing an infection into the city and literally what it was. But we took it into Chinatown, so we took it to them. We took it to China. I think he was from North Carolina. Some white boys. Chase, yeah. He was a couple years older than me. He was cool. He was living there for a few years. That was what's really cool about that job. I would just meet people And some people I've talked like because I would drive around a lot. I drove around with him one day. I was PAing for their, or I was I was like assisting for their production company one day in Manhattan, and we drove around for 6 hours just talking. And then sometimes I would, like for my company, Be Electric, I would drive the Sprinter and just drive all over New York, and I would have interns with me. And like this one dude, he was from Jamaica, but he lived in New York most of his life, and we talked for like 6 hours straight the whole time. And I don't know, it was just I think. When you talk to someone that, I don't know, it just feels like when we talk too, it's just like conscious bouncing back and forth. Like there's this like, I don't know, it's just like freedom of thought almost. Mm-hmm. And you're interested in the other person, you want to hear their perspective, and then they want to kind of hear your perspective. And and then like the conversation has never stopped. I had a lot of conversations like that out there, and it just goes like, it's very common, honestly.
And then in those conversations, it just feels like there's very little that I would probably hold back. Like if if I felt like the need or felt like something come on a memory just because of a string of words. Yeah.
You just kind of let it out. And we were just talking about ideas and like drug experiences, like just any kind of things. We were just talking about cool shit.
Yeah. And it's just like, the only reason you wouldn't talk about that is being around people that it encroaches on. Just like,
well, they can't handle like the minds.
They don't live in a world where drugs exist in their immediate reality, where like seeing and hearing about it is actually a real thing. Because it would be too horrifying for them to see that because
touch.
Yeah,
I forget that. I've been through a lot. I haven't been through it like it's a bad thing, but like I've done a lot of things, and like kind of having this job and like being around kids who haven't so much. It's like it's a different like
kids who haven't and kids who have.
Yeah,
lots of. I mean, yeah, we see all sorts of people at our job as far as.
But even some of the guys we have worked with, it's just different than what I'm used to.
Oh yeah, they're
different people than what I'm used to, man. Like. And not even in a way or anything. It's just they're just different. Like
they're trying to be something that they're not, or that they don't know that they're trying to be. Just like we all kind of are, I think.
I don't know. Just like I never really been around people that game so much, and I myself am a gamer. But it's like,
you're more of a serious. You can't be a serious filmmaker and a gamer to the same degree that.
It's like I love gaming growing up, and I game, but it's like I game more as a I don't want to say pastime, but like I said, like a break,
as a hobby, not an addiction.
Something to like get my mind off something else for a while.
We are addicted to video games. The boys we work with and myself, like the boys.
Yeah,
we call that.
And it's like.
It's a sick addiction.
Video games, like I love video games, but I always just think about like, what am I getting out of things? What am I? And it's not always like you gotta be productive, you gotta do things, you gotta get things out of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But it's like ultimately though, it's like
you really should at everything that you do. You should get something.
Shot, dude.
Yeah. Where do I get that thing that hangs above his bed so I can?
He's just got the 2-liter next to it. The whale. That's such like a little symbol shot right there, like the harpoon thing. What a slob.
My goodness.
I don't know how you could see this movie like every day. Like, what's his name? Ben Avery did.
I was obsessed with it for a little bit, but it is quite a lot. Yeah, not obsessed, but I mean, I was interested in it.
Like I said, I went and saw it, definitely.
But to pay money multiple times, that is shameful. He spent hundreds of dollars.
And you got to know, tickets out there are probably so expensive.
Yeah.
Like in California.
Yeah.
But he could have been going to matinees during the day. So
I mean, he lives such a lavish lifestyle. What a piece of shit. I can't believe he saw this movie so much. And
wasn't he like a fat kid?
I think so. I think maybe he was
probably
puffed up. Yeah, fat like golfer. But I mean, that man's got a child too. It's disgusting.
What a faggot. Oh shit.
So I got my hair cut the other day, and then I went to Barnes and Nobles. They just put a Barnes and Nobles up over by
Is it down by the mall?
In Auburn Hills, by the Panera, in that same plaza where Panera is.
Okay, so that's where Taylor. Did you go to Glitz?
Yeah, I went to Glitz.
That's where Taylor works. My sister works there.
Oh yeah?
Who cut your hair?
Brittany.
Okay, so Taylor.
It was on Friday.
I don't know if Taylor worked. She's got green hair. She's like dressed goth. She has a black Jeep. Well, actually, it's not anymore.
I don't think I saw a woman like that.
Yeah, that's where Taylor works. Goods.
Interesting. That's fun.
Yeah. We'll have to do a podcast over there. I'm telling you, at Taylor's house, you'd like it. It's a
Okay.
vibe over her place. It's like Halloween. You would like Taylor, I'm telling you. It would be a cool conversation.
Like Halloween.
Dude, yeah, Taylor had, yeah.
I bet.
It would be cool.
I bet.
It's my big sister, so just imagine.
It's hard too. I really don't have anything coming to mind, but yeah, I'm sure it'd be really something. But so I went to the Barnes and Nobles there, and I had a woman bring me over to
Is it by the Second and Charles? Oh no, it's in the. You're saying it's in the shopping center.
with Panera Bread, and like there used to be a Tilly's there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. She brings me over to the philosophy books, and set up on display there is Dune.
Is it?
It's Dune is set up there.
That's fitting. I would say it is though for modern time, for right now.
And then get this, the book right above Dune, Infinite Jest.
Is it? We were just talking about it. There you go, Synchronicity.
And then I
Did you buy it?
I didn't
No.
buy those books, dude. Bought the fucking Nazis book. And I bought C.S. Lewis. See, I bought a C.S. Lewis book, a devout Christian, and then I bought a Nazis book.
Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's both.
Dude, Nazis low key had style.
Yeah, dude. Didn't they came up? No, they didn't come up with Louis Vuitton, did they? They came up with Hugo Boss.
Here, if you want to finish that, you can.
Oh yeah, here, okay.
I'm not sure how much is left.
Excellent. That is dandy. And then I made sure to mention to the poor woman that was helping me over to the philosophy books. It's like, I just did a podcast. We just talked about David Foster Wallace. I called him a faggot. I'm not Infinite Jest. You get it? Whatever.
You ran up to her? Did you really?
I asked a woman immediately, can you show me where the philosophy books are? And then she walked over. I was like, oh, I noticed Dune and Infinite Jest. I'm like, I got to tell somebody. I can't hold this in. I'm going to tell this woman.
Oh, I didn't even realize Dune. Whoa. Because we literally just yeah.
You had the goddamn
Wow,
movie
yeah, I
going.
know.
That's why I was insane. I was like, both Dune and Infinite Jest.
Dune, I was
on
just
this
thinking
display.
like, yeah, wow, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is what I was going to tell you at work earlier. And then I was like, I'm going to save this.
I'm going to wait.
I'm going to save this because this is a kind of a great anecdote.
Wow, that is fucking crazy.
Synchronicity.
This is the one funny thing about this movie, though. It's like, how is Sadie Sink his daughter? Like, how the fuck is this little redhead, little hot fireball girl this fat faggot's daughter?
Well, he probably looked really nice when he was not this fat. And I mean, then I thought her mom is decrepit and scary. She's like,
Come on, that's what I'm trying to say.
well, it's just, it's really, it's when you see this happen in public, you see a beautiful little angelic child, and then the parents have been destroyed by life itself, and you're like, well, how did you guys ever conceive of such a being?
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
This is just something that occurs. This isn't like you see it and you're bewildered in the same that you would be bewildered in real life.
Aronofsky just wanted someone to scream at him well.
Yeah.
And she does.
Yeah.
Like,
She
dude,
really
imagine if that was your dad.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Every day I'd be like, you fucking loser.
He's like, it's
Well, he cheated on her mom, remember?
Yeah,
With a guy.
with a guy, which makes it even worse. What would be even worse if it was a black gay guy that he's cheating with? Thank God I wouldn't be able to watch this film. You got to turn the volume on when she says the F slur.
She does call him a faggot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, she said, I think she calls Walt Whitman a faggot.
Oh.
She said, I don't care about that faggot.
Walt Whitman is a faggot.
Yeah.
No. What's his book? Leaves of Grass or something?
I think it's called Infinite Faggot.
By Walt Whitman.
By Walt Wallace Jr. Whitman.
Who is David Foster Wallace? Is he just like one of those think tank guys who just speaks?
I think he came up maybe around the time of Hitchens.
Okay.
He was like a Hitchens guy. But I mean, he just wore a bandana. I guess he sweat too much.
Yeah, he's
in social situation. He had anxiety.
Gets nervous.
Yeah. Just
I'm gonna listen to that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking, he can't even fucking. Yeah.
Imagine getting nervous in the face of danger.
Loser.
Jocko would never get.
Jocko.
David Goggins would never wear a bandana for like a retarded purpose. He would wear it only because he has to run a marathon a day.
David Goggins, what a guy.
Dude, my dad sent me a David
Goggins video?
podcast
Oh,
one time.
podcast?
Yeah. I mean, I was so far gone when he sent it as far as like what I was willing to listen to. Like, do you think I'm gonna get my life together? What are you?
Oh, he was like trying to motivate you?
That's the only reason you watch a David
Goggins
Goggins or Jocko is because like
time to get your shit together, boy.
I would watch David Goggins so I would like maybe smoke weed at the same time every day, like that kind of regimen. So I'm like smoking weed and eating and jacking off at proper times consistently. That's the only thing that David Goggins will do for me. Not actually getting. I can punish my. See, that's what when I was watching the Daily Wire, that's what they were good for, was pointing out like, oh, you suck. Why are you subscribed to us? Like,
they would just like make fun of their viewers.
Not make fun of your viewers, but
kind of give them some like, hey.
The fact that I was smoking weed every day, I was still masturbating. I mean, I still masturbate. Like saying the guy said stopped, whatever.
I mean, everybody masturbates. But everybody does.
Everybody masturbates. Everybody like. I mean, they would just like bring up the like pornography and how horrible how horrible jacking off is. Like almost like just like a regular theme that ran throughout the show. And it's like, how can you continue? How could I continue like subscribing to something when I'm still doing these things? And they kind of like. Maybe I was just punishing myself. Maybe they weren't like speaking to me and telling me that was a bad thing. But
just imagine having a bedtime at 20 something.
At 2,000 hours.
No, at like 30 years old. Being 28 and having a bedtime.
It's good for me. It's good for me, and it keeps me regulated because
it works for me. All right.
Yeah, because if I don't get at least 8 hours of sleep, then I'm a grumpy grump.
I remember one of my first jobs out of school. I worked at this production company, the TV thing. And this one girl I worked with.
What's her name? What's her address? What's her Instagram?
She wanted to like win an Emmy. That was her goal. And she was never gonna win a fucking Emmy. She was kind of cute, but like she was just. I remember one of the talents of like an interview day. Like we would shoot an interview in the studio. Hang on, really quick. I'm gonna shut this thing off. Hang on.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, keep talking.
Well, guys, I'm sipping the last bits of my Francis Coppola wine, and I'm looking for things to talk about, but nothing's really coming to mind. He was in the middle of a story here.
Great talking. Okay, so this girl, she was the interview, like who was on camera. The talent was like
the talent.
She named the girl wrong, and the girl was just like,
did she have a difficult?
She didn't. No, it's like the whitest name ever.
Okay. What was her name? What was her address?
Didn't even correct her. It was just like, you're like a grown woman, girl. Like, just say your name's this. Like, make it right. She thinks you're a totally different person now.
Oh, really?
You just sat there and just.
Yeah, I do. I feel like that. I do that.
You would do that? Oh, I correct myself. I correct them all. I love correcting people.
I think maybe in different.
Like when they like hand you the fucking card at the register, I'm like.
Like I was taking a woman's passport photo today, and she had like earrings in, and they were like 2 or 3 loops in her ears. I'm like, we should have like just had her take
them out.
I never ask women to take out their jewelry. I really think I should just tell them you have to take out your jewelry.
There was another place I was going to go with that story, but I forget.
But then they fight with me. They're like,
I don't want to take it out because I want to look good for my picture.
Do I really need to take it out? I mean, I should just lie and be like, yes. Just say yes.
You got to realize a lot of these women, they don't have anyone like, that's why they like me a lot, because they like have someone that can look at them. They don't have many people that get to look at them.
Same. No, exactly. I get the same set. No, yeah, I get that. No, I definitely.
So like coming into our job, they like some of them like want to have
an experience.
An experience, and they see someone like us or that other kid with like a unique type person. They want a little something. Yeah, they're lining up for him.
He had a woman like all about him, all charmed up about him. And I looked at him after.
A customer?
Yeah, I forget the exact words that she said, but it was funny enough where he noticed, I noticed like from a distance, and we looked at each other and giggled about it afterwards. It always happens so subtly. Women will be with.
Do you want to hear a funny story from there?
Sure.
One of my first couple days, first couple of weeks working there, I was working there one morning. And the phone rings. I see the caller ID, and I see this name. And I recognize the last name, but I don't think too much of it. And I answer it, and I'm on the phone. There's this girl calling, and she wants makeup. She's looking for like a Ramel. It's like a Sunday morning. She's like looking for something because she doesn't want to drive that far to like. She want to make sure it's at the store.
What does she sound like?
Like a child almost, but it was like she sounded like cute. Like it just sounded like a girl, but almost like childish in a way. So I was like, okay, because you could get makeup like from like, come on.
You're an old bat.
Well, it's just like, go to at least Sephora if you're gonna get something.
Target.
Yeah, like at least like I don't know. I don't buy makeup, so I don't know.
We got makeup, but we don't have any like high.
Okay, so anyway, she wants to know if they have a certain type. I call over. She's like pissed off. She's just not in the mood, and like I'm like, hey, can you go look? And she goes and looks. Doesn't find anything. She calls back, hey, it's not there. And the phone hung up, and then she had to like call back again. I was like, hey, so there was like a moment there on the phone where I talked to her. It was kind of funny. Mm-hmm. And time goes by, and then I'm like doing tags or something, and I look and I see this like pretty attractive, like just from behind. I see. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go check her out.
Sure.
And then I go to the thing and I look at her face, and then it all connects. I saw the last name. I see her. I was like, oh, I took this girl to prom my junior year. But she's like the hottest girl in school. She was, yeah. And I was like, hey. And she's like, Grant. I was like, yeah. And it was just like we had this moment. It was crazy, dude. I've never had a moment like this in like a while. It was mind blowing. And then there's this dude who's buying beer behind us, and he's just like watching it. And we just talked for like a couple minutes. I was like, this is what was weird though, because I was like, yeah, I'm working here part time, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I have like, yeah. She's like, I'm working like 3 jobs, blah.
It's like I just got back from the city.
And I was like, I lived in New York for a while. And she's like, I know. And I was like,
yeah,
how? And in my mind, I was like, how? Like no one. I didn't post like.
Instagram. I follow you.
No,
you weren't posting.
They didn't follow me. I shut my Instagram down when I moved to New York too. So it's like, and I don't have Facebook then. So it's like, I was like, oh, people know shit about me. Like they're talking like.
I'm kind of a big deal.
So then she left, and then this dude comes up from behind. He's like, don't.
It's Eric.
No, it was like an Eric type guy though. Just always, and he's like, don't tell him. He's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, you should go chase after her. I was like,
you should go like throw her in the van and fucking rape that girl.
Basically, and he's like, dude, if my wife, he's like, man, he's like, don't tell my wife. I was like I'm gonna like, but he was like, I'm like, yeah. I was like, I took that girl to prom, and he's like, I thought you guys just graduated. I'm like, dude, I'm almost 30. He's like,
I'm 47.
He's like, man, I don't feel so old then. And I was like, he's probably in his 50s or something. I was just like, all right, dude. But it was crazy. It was a weird thing. I was just like, whoa. But other than that, that was like a weird thing. When I first started working there, that's when I had my dyed hair. So like a lot of women were like really feeling. And I was just like, I kind of liked it then too. But then like I was in the middle of my movie, and I'm not gonna dye my hair now because I look too much like the character, and it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like what you said, where it's like, how much of this guy is his own thoughts? I don't want that. I want people to realize I'm playing a character. Like, so that's why my hair is this way now. Even though I look better, I think with the bleach, like it's sick.
It's
like,
an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to do my hair as
you would look cool
as a silver gray, like
dude. You want you're gonna laugh.
Silver.
I also described my friend to you as like he has like Cruella de Vil hair.
What the hell is like XX Tentacion?
No, do you know who Cruella de Vil is?
I know Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians and 2.
Joking. I don't know. You just like have, I don't know. You just kind of have Cruella de Vil hair, and then you have like that one strand that's like
I do have white strands.
It's like this one like little strand that's like it's like mad scientist shit. It's cool. You know, dude, you got like the perfect look for a comic.
Dude, fucking, I'm gonna say somebody's name that we work with, but at the pharmacy, he's got the Mr. Fantastic white streak, like like it's very visible, like the stress streak.
Yeah, he looks stressed out. Every time I see him, he's like,
it's a nice, beautiful white streak.
He doesn't like talking. I don't know. He's just like
he's like engaged to be married.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. These pharmacy boys get locked up and then they're trapped.
It's wild, and you know, whose ex-girlfriend, who's moving.
Is that why he's moving?
I think with somebody. I don't know if he's breaking up with this girl as well to move or what's happening exactly. I feel like maybe
he's got a cool vibe to him. I kind of like him. I don't really talk to him much, but he seems
cool guy. Nothing wrong with he's a good guy.
I mean, he's living with Pat.
They're
Big Pat. He's like Big Papa, dude. I could see Patrick as like a fucking rapper, dude. Big Pat.
Patrick could be anything, dude.
Like MF Doom. Yeah. He really could. He could be an actor.
He should wear a mask. That guy.
But he could be like a character actor.
Yeah, like Steve Buscemi.
Like the Penguin in the Batman.
And
you would play the perfect Penguin. Tell me he wouldn't.
What are you trying to say?
I could just see him with like a little cane walking around.
Yeah, little Kane. You wouldn't really have to do much makeup for him either. Probably be a pretty easy
He's
role.
just got it, man. I'm telling you.
And he's got that real like penguin Joker attitude.
Exactly. He's the penguin. He's the penguin.
He was so worried that we were just gonna talk shit about it.
I know. He's so funny.
It's beautiful. I think we're doing it very well.
I think so too. And he's gonna hear this. You're gonna hear this, Patrick. Because I was waiting. He gets it.
And we're not gonna bleep out Patrick.
Oh, we're only gonna leave Patrick's name in.
We love Patrick. Patrick will be a.
He honestly was. So this is what's cool about Patrick was when I first worked there. The first person I met, actually the first person when I called and said I had an interview, you answered.
Oh really?
Like, this fucking tight ass mother. You're like, hello. I was like, this is Jacob from Walgreens. How are we talking? I was like, oh, this should be fun. No, I'm joking. Your face right now.
I try to do a good job at my job.
No, you're great. You're great.
Great customer.
But when I went and interviewed, I got the job. Oh no, I talked to. She was the first person I saw, and this is so fucking funny too, dude. When I was leaving, I looked down the aisle 8, and I saw, and I was like, they got a midget here.
My God.
Yes,
They've got a little.
they got a little one here.
They got a little munch.
I was like, this is gonna be fun here. I just knew instantly. And then like my first day, Patrick checked in when I was leaving. He's like, he's the only person I talked to that day. Like the only person that would walk in and like talk to me. And he's like, when I was like clocking out, he's like, welcome to hell. I don't know why. I was like, this place is not even that bad. It was just like, welcome to hell.
One of my favorite things
He was like, run. He always says that too.
One of my favorite things that Patrick will do sometimes. I haven't heard him do it much lately, but maybe because I started pointing it out.
Sit at the kiosk.
No, when he will like greet customers, his greeting will always be the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. And I pointed it out to him one time. I'm like, you know that you do that, right? And he like, I'm pretty sure he was like, what are you talking about? Like you're very clearly doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He loves Star Wars. I know he loves it.
He loves Star Wars.
There's a game he talked to me for hours on end, and I do want to play it, but only if they ever remastered it for the PS5. I'm not gonna play it on Steam. He's like, you should download it on Steam. I'm like, I'm not. I don't know. It's like an old Star Wars campaign from like 2003 or 4. Qatar, Knights of the One Republic. I know so much, and then I went and read about it all. It does sound like a good game. You basically create your own Jedi and then go through the galaxy and like, yeah.
We spoke about this game. Sorry,
we have.
I was thinking about a technical issue as you were just.
Oh no!
Should I turn on this low pass filter on the back because I keep
do the -10. Do the minus
-10.
10. Yeah,
Okay.
do that because that'll just bring that mic down a little bit.
Is that better?
And I can. All right, how are you now?
I mean,
that's better.
Okay, especially if I'm gonna hold it close.
It's just when you peek sometimes, but it's not that bad. It's really not.
I am just gonna keep holding this close to my mouth. It's not. I'm not gonna hold it's. Just,
no, that's the perfect length. Like that's it. You're dialed in.
Perfect. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm locked in, dude.
You're locked in now.
I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready to enter the modules. I'm ready to learn Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Wing Chun, all that shit, dude. Fatalities, brutality, everything. What do we got going on here on our screen here?
Well, he's teaching her about like, I think Walt Whitman right here.
I think this is the Walt Whitman scene.
Hang on, let me turn on the subtitles real quick.
Yeah, just so I can see the word faggot spelled out on the screen. If I'm not going to be able to hear it, I definitely want to read it. What are we doing here?
They don't even have subtitles.
What are we streaming on right now? The dark net?
It's Prime.
Prime my ass.
Yeah, dude, they don't have. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Found it. I see.
Yeah, and I can just make them super.
Make it bold and put it in Comic Sans. Oh wow, that is right on the fucking screen. That is a massive. Do it. Oh wow. Oh my god.
It's like the whole picture.
I do like that kind of. I do kind of like that. I thought you wanted to get to know me. It's actually not like done very well. There's not
I kind of have to go pee, and I'm like contemplating, should I pause it really quick?
Just pause it.
Yeah.
We can even, just pause it. Yeah. I like the idea of like not using any more substances to finish this episode, and then completely changing our mindsets for the next episode, and it could be just completely distinguished from the other because we've entered a different
X-rated.
X-rated. That was a little behind the scenes. That was you can cut that.
I just forget what we were talking about.
We were talking about work, but we shouldn't
And then
talk
I looked
about
at
work
the
too much. But I mean, our jobs are. It's not interesting, but it's like the fact that I have a job and like see
And
people,
what most people have,
Yeah.
most people just sit at their house
or
all
have
day long.
at-home jobs. Yeah,
Exactly, that's what I mean. And they're married with their wife, and they just sit at home all day.
yeah. Or they just cheat on their wife and try to get as far away from her as possible.
Well, those are real men.
Yeah, that's a real guy. I mean, truly, dude. I don't know how you can cuck out and then just stay married forever. That's kind of crazy.
I guess you had your fun.
I guess so. I guess that's kind of you. If you have plenty of fun, then you're okay settling down. I don't know anything about my dad, quote unquote, having fun or any of that, but he doesn't like use drugs or.
Did you drink ever? Does your mom ever have drinks?
They both drink. They both will drink, but they don't smoke anything. They don't
No.
inhale anything. Yeah, Dad doesn't buy like edibles or anything that I know of. Really, I don't know if he'd tell me if he did. He just likes.
What is your like? What's your parents like? What's your mom like? Your mom seems interesting.
She's very demanding, expecting. She's very Asian. She's just an Asian woman who had to prove herself in like a Squid Game scenario because she was adopted.
Right.
She had to
survive.
She had to.
She has a strong survival
instinct.
Drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah. A drive that
to survive in America.
Yeah. And surviving in America
as an adopted Korean woman. A lot of Korean people are adopted. Why is that? I've known like 4.
Because North Korea and I think there's a lot of race. See, I do a bit about this, but I think there's a lot of racism amongst those Asian countries that I suspect that my mom
racism or just hate.
Racism in a
they're all Asian.
Racism in a scientific sense, in a country to country scientific sense, is that I think that my mom is half Korean and half Chinese, and that she had to be put up adoption because she simply wasn't pure one of the other. Because her dad was like a gambler. I don't know anything about that side of the family.
Or things, yeah.
My biological granddad apparently is a gambler, piece of shit, like womanizer. That's all. That's the extent of it. I don't know proper stories or
That's his.
I just know that my mom has 2 brothers that are her biological brothers, and they were put up for adoption because perhaps they were like a secret family. They were like a secret.
I mean, that's the thing that's interesting is like that. Those could all just be stories too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to like. Yeah. But I mean,
she was adopted when she was 12, so she knows. Unless
what year would that? How old's your mom?
She was born in 69, so she would have been
81.
81 when she was 12.
Early 80s,
which is a crazy time to come to America.
No technology,
or like just peeking into like that weird
70s, 80s.
Yeah, but they lived in Ohio. Fairly, I don't know how isolated Ohio is, but I mean, in like rural Ohio, they were self-sufficient, I believe, for the most part. I mean, they had a bunch of little kids to run everything.
A little sweatshop in their own place.
These Austrian, these fucking Nazi defects, these paperclip people. I'm really trying to work out because I think fantasizing about that is like really, really interesting.
That they were just
certainly
like
not
adopted little people to create like a little army.
A little race, a little super race of 8 Koreans and like blacks and little Ubermensch, like
little
perhaps
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, or just because if they immigrated in the 50s, it would have been like the idea of nuclear war and fallout would have been like at the forefront of a lot of people's mind. So they were tasked with like to be prepared to repopulate the earth if necessary in the case of a scenario like this. But ultimately, they were like called to God, and they were compelled by God to adopt these poor
But that's
children.
what I was telling you earlier. Remember about the God complex, and what is that then? Like
Again, they were
What
all-
makes you just like Christopher? Who makes Christopher Nolan have the power to create these great films?
Exactly.
What
Why
makes
would
you to
they-
adopt 16 kids?
16 kids. Why were they?
That's not healthy for every kid. Don't tell me it's healthy for all these kids to be born that way.
Is Project Paperclip. They moved into Ohio of all places, a place with a lot of government like set up experiments in that state specifically. They moved here with the houses. My cousin that visited that I mentioned briefly last podcast.
I like that one.
He has a little bit more insight. He said that the 3 houses in a row were all related. They were all built by them when they move over here. So they're all very similar looking houses. So they were all in a line in this neighborhood in Ohio, like right on a county line by chance. Actually, they're right on the county
Kind of
line.
like me.
Yeah, like you, like Mansfield and Lexington. Let me just
Yeah.
dox my grandmother. Yeah. And it's fun to fantasize. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
No, I get it, and that's what conspiracy. But
It's plausible.
there's things that are
thing is
there.
actually plausible, kind of. They're Austrian. Hitler was Austrian.
He was Austrian. Yeah.
Hitler was an Austrian immigrant, just like my grandparents.
Whoa.
Oh. My non-biological. I love
Yeah.
it. My grandmother's an absolute angel.
Angel.
It's incredible.
But yeah.
But the thing is, what's crazy is nobody in the family visits her. They've all shunned her. They think she's crazy because she supports Donald Trump. Because she has an image, like a signed image of Donald Trump, like a picture, and she just sees the world as the demonic hellhole that it is.
That it is.
And she's the crazy one. She's the
Right.
one that doesn't understand all my retard and faggot uncles and aunts that I have that have completely lost their minds to drugs and media, that are just completely lost beings. My mom is fine. She's the only, like, she's like one of the only ones that is like stable.
Mhm.
But I mean, she just, what my mom does is when we go over there, she really flaunts her wealth and her
Is it like out of pride?
superiority. Yeah, out of pride.
But it's like, look what I've done.
Yeah,
type
just
thing?
like look at her success, because she I mean, in a lot of ways, I think my grandmother probably like beat a lot of whatever out of humans or whatever.
Gotcha.
My grandma will never hear this. She won't hear this.
No, I was just thinking like out of pride, but like she deserved that. So like, I mean, you should be proud of anything you've done, that you made, or
It
like,
is like,
the life you built. Like you should be able to flaunt it at a certain point.
yeah, it's fine.
But I get what you mean, where it's like
It's very it's very just superficial.
Superficial,
It's
yeah.
like, Mom, you're
there
showing.
comes a point at an age when it's like you got to realize
so
superficial is
fun.
just
Yeah, well,
stupid.
well-
Like, would she have like a Michael Kors bag or like some shit like that, or Louis?
Not Michael, yeah, exactly.
Like that
exactly
type.
that kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
Vineyard Vine sweaters,
Right,
like
right.
these really cool UGG boots that aren't like typical UGG boots, but they're like proper like leather boots
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And just the language that she used, a very superior. Because she's a
Status symbols in a sense.
my grandma's like almost 90 years old. Like, why
what
are
does she
you?
know?
What are you
Yeah.
holding over? She's still smarter than you. She's still with it.
Does your mom not like? Is she like more like not Trump side like stuff?
she is apolitical in the most.
Just don't give a shit.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can't be. I mean, my dad's brain rot over it. My
What's
mom
he
is.
into?
He's just Trump killed his brain is what he's into.
He doesn't like Trump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and he's lived a very. I mean, after his, I mean, grandpa, his dad, born on a plantation, was a womanizer. He lived through that, but I mean, once he met my mom, and I mean, he's been able to live like a very good. I mean, somewhat comfortable. I mean, I shouldn't. I don't want to take away from my father's. I don't want to like. I feel like I'm systematically trying to destroy my dad right now, which is the whole point of
Pod.
on a podcast.
Damn you, father.
I'm not going to do that because I think I'm realizing. I mean, again,
But I mean, you're coming into your own age as an adult, and you realize what adults do,
exactly.
and that's all you're seeing. You're seeing your dad as like
surviving, as
What
we
he had
said
to do.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
He found this woman that had enough drive to carry both of them, and he's like, "Oh,
I'll stick around and do whatever I have to.
I'll support the shit out of this insane Korean woman that's ready to take on to destroy whatever it's in her
What's your
path."
dad's birthday?
He's born in July.
Is he a Cancer?
I don't know. He's Cancer to my.
That's great.
I want to kill my dad and fuck my mom.
That's
Oedipus. Oedipus.
That's Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
He did the whole reenactment.
Yeah.
The end of the end.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah. I did it too in a short film. Well, I killed my mom too though. So
Yeah.
I just said fuck them both.
Wait, I'd have to kill my mom after I fuck her. That's what you do.
No, I didn't fuck my mom. I said
Oh.
no. All right, that was just weird.
Well, that's what you do after sex. You kill a woman, right? Is that what you do?
Basically, because now her life doesn't matter, and she has like a little life growing
I
inside
mean,
her.
that's the worst part.
She did her job on Earth, and now she can just go and die.
I mean, isn't that the worst part about having sex, folks? Is
You have
washing your hands and figuring out where you're gonna put this goddamn body. Do I cut the body into parts? What do I do with it? Do I scatter her fingers, or do I cut the hands and put them in different counties?
I like acid in a barrel.